The Parliament of Uganda this week issued a directive for the Ministry of Education and Sports to clarify the guidelines for swimming pools following the tragic drowning of a student at Seta High School in Mukono on August 3rd, 2025. The death of Kevin Nsamba forms part of a troubling pattern that highlights the potential dangers of swimming pools, but also serves as a stark reminder that while swimming pools are a luxury, they can also be extremely hazardous. The incident evokes the urgency for school administrators to prioritize student safety within schools, but it also sheds light on the broader risks associated with unsafe pools, as swimming pools have become increasingly common in both private homes and public spaces. As the desire for this luxury continues to grow, a crucial question of safeguards to prevent these pools from becoming death traps now arise. It also becomes imperative that we address these risks to ensure that pools remain a source of recreation and not a cause for tragedies. This is the Limelight. Well, good evening and welcome to the program. This is the Limelight. My name is Prince Apollo, and speaking about swimming pools turning into death traps, we at this moment connect with Moses Kalanzi. And Moses Kalanzi is a global activist advocating for water safety and drowning prevention, but he also serves as the executive director for Swim Safe Uganda. Welcome to the program, Mr. Kalanzi.
Thank you very much, and good evening to the viewers. I'm happy to be here and share.
Okay, let's go straight to the issue. Talking about people losing lives in swimming pools, especially children or students. How severe is this concern?
Mr. Apollo, when we look at drowning globally or nationally, it's claiming lives. And in Uganda, the study done by the Makerere University School of Public Health indicates that more than 300 lives are lost to this burden. And when we look at the police report for last year, it indicated that 109 lives were lost, and these bodies were retrieved by the police, and the cause was drowning. So, and when we look at such cases of us losing children, since the year began, we have got several, and there are several cases reported within the news, where we have lost children during swim lessons, during, at school setting. Yes, so it's a burden.
What could be the risk factors? What could be the factors behind these incidents?
Yeah, when you look at these incidents, we need to understand that this is something which can't be tackled at one level, but we need to look on all levels. So starting from the policy level, then coming down. Yeah, so on the policy level, I think currently drowning does not have a mother ministry, because when we look at drowning, it's a public health issue where it's supposed to be somewhere under the Ministry of Health, maybe public health, maybe environmental health. But I question myself, and I ask whether there is a unit handling drowning in that ministry, and also Ministry of Education. So do we have a ministry that is reliable for this public health issue, and that recognize and say this is a stand-alone unit to deal with this? Because when you look at the geographical location of Uganda, 20% is water. So that means we are vulnerable to drowning, and when you look at the island districts we have, all this gives us a reason to know that there must be drowning cases in this country. So, but do we have a policy on this? That's something. Do we have a policy on drowning? And the answer might be no. Do we have regulations on water safety? Swimming pool construction, do we have regulations on what must be done on the pool? The construction, how does it need to be constructed? What are the features that makes a swimming pool? Operationalize it. What are the cadres, the people you need to have on the pool? Are they there? Are they regulations? There are many things we need to look at. really, from the structure to the personnels, yes, and the maintenance.
Are you saying we do not have regulations that guide either the setup, the structure, the usage of swimming pools?
And if there, would have been knowing which ministry is responsible, and then they would have been out there known, because you can find a pool, no lifeguard there, no fencing, but it's operating. That clearly tells you that the regulations on swimming pools is not there. Yes.
At least for this case of incidents happening in schools, it must be the Ministry of Education and Sports responsible for guidance and setting standards for the school or learners' environment. And I'm sure there are regulations on the safety or the guidelines on safety for learners.
Yeah, when it comes, perhaps may or may not, but when it comes to a pool and also swimming is a sport, but again, it's for lifestyle. And when you look at the repercussion, the impacts, it could be more of education ministry, but also other ministries. As I said, it's a public health issue. We need to agree. It's like the way we see there are dormitories. We have fire department coming in and doing the inspection. So which is not the Ministry of Education. But they would say we need safety, and then people responsible comes to see do we have fire, blah. So we need also to have something for water safety, which is not there. But again, it goes back to the schools because they subscribe to the Ministry of Education to make sure that they keep our children. We take our children there, not to counter such.
So, from your experience, what are those standard procedures for a safe swimming pool? For instance, either in a school environment or in a home setting, what it should be like, or what should not miss out, what must be available for one to feel it is safe?
For a pool, as I said, the risk factor for these accidents, there could be demographic, behavior, or environmental. But let's look at the environmental. The setting of a pool. I would think that's prudent for a pool to be fenced.
Okay.
Have a proper
fence around the swimming pool.
Yes, and if it's a pool for a school, we are expecting more than 100 students or learners to come. Let's have a detector, a drowning detector.
What is that for?
Just a machine that could see somebody drowning and then it activates.
Okay.
Something like emergency action plan. Say drowning detector. But all in all must be guarded. Guarded has an infrastructure, but also with people, whom we call lifeguards. Those are the people that are not teachers. They are not teachers, they are not swim teachers, they are not coaches, but lifeguards. And when you go and try to search in other countries, and also the setting of these pools, they've got a chair, a lifeguard chair on the left side and also on the right side. That means there should be two people. One watching from a left side and another one watching from right side. So those people must be there at the pool. Lifeguards. Then you add on the teachers and other things. So we need to consider, if we were to have a pool, we need to consider both the human resource needed there, but also the infrastructure.
Okay.
You will find some even that are not demarcated. You can't understand the shallow and the deep. And then what are the age group? Yeah. If you are really making a pool with the shallow side, and then you need to know your age group. If it's a primary, let it be a bit more shallow, and then it keeps.
And they should be demarcated clearly. This is the deep end, this is the shallow end.
Yes. And if we are working with maybe junior school, we could have only a shallow side, and then we have another pool which is for competition maybe. But this one, a learner pool, let it be shallow. Why do you have 1.5 meter if we are dealing with kindergarten? Why really? Really why? Yeah, because we're expecting these children to learn in a facility which is below their knees. Yeah. So, but why do you go for something which is deeper? So these pools, they need also to understand, you know, what they need. Yeah, and also you'll find a pool, the maintenance, you know, the way it's maintained. You know, somebody tells you a child, you know, somebody drowned in the pool and we couldn't see the body. That goes to maintenance. How is the pool treated? You know, and I normally, because this is one of the things we do, and we partner with many people, including NSI, as we are doing this, so that the water is treated. You know, how is the water treated? Because if the water is clear, you can see somebody even at the floor. Yeah,
at the floor of the pool.
At the pool. So how could you miss to see somebody for 2 hours? For 2
in
minutes?
Case an incident happens of drowning.
Yes, because if you have seen that person, not over a minute, you can resuscitate. You know, as first aid. That person, you could rush to the hospital. But spends 2 hours. It means also the maintenance lacks. So the pool. Let's talk about the infrastructure, the maintenance, and the human resource. All this should be top notch.
From your experience, Mr. Kalanzi, the pools we have in this country, be it in schools, be it in homes, to what percentage do you think they meet those required standards, in your opinion?
Most of the pools we have in the country, they are death traps.
Sure.
Most of the pools we have in the country, they are death traps. Few meets the standards. And those who meet the standards, you know, with human resource, they don't meet the standard with infrastructure. Their way, you know, how they were designed does not. And some maintenance is zero. Because you should be in the pool where you are able to see a tail, even a nail at the bottom of the pool. And there should be lifeguard, well dressed, you know, and well identified, you know, and properly trained with the skills to save a life. You know, if anything happens, they should give first care, which is appropriate. So if I'm ranging, yeah, we can say we need to do something.
We need to do something.
Yeah.
Okay, talking about the human resource, hope you talk about those lifeguards that you say they should be at least 2 manning a swimming pool. To what experience should these people have? And do you think, in your opinion and experience, do we have trained people of that caliber in this country? Are they many? Are they available? That resource, is that resource available?
It's challenging, Apollo, which we need to accept. Most of our people manning this, they were self-taught. They taught themselves. Some were plumbers, some were swimmers, you know. So going formal lifeguard training is a challenge in the country. But also it goes back. Who's supposed to regulate them? Who's supposed to qualify them? Who's supposed to license them? Because in other countries, they are licensed. You know, the city council gives so and so permission to license, you know, these people. So, and they're trained. But if the council has not given anyone mandate to do it, then it's challenge. And it's hard for me to say yes or no. We also do lifeguard trainings. But what we've realized is terrible, and you know, it's there. So the human resource here, when we are talking about lifeguards, because for them their role is to guard, you know, to look after, not to teach, but just lifeguards. And they, in other countries, their licenses, they have to renew their license every year, you know, or 2 for the instructors. But it's really hard. It's only 2% of the lifeguards in Uganda with valid license.
So what now does that spell to a country like Uganda, where many more people are actually adopting this lifestyle of swimming, and many more schools are building or constructing swimming pools, what does that tell, and what awaits this country?
Personally, I don't believe in lamenting. Uganda is growing, and we are growing in many aspects, including that you've talked about. So, and I think it's a high time for the relevant ministries to come up with a proper arrangement, to regulate. And then also calls help. At time I feel ashamed when people are saying an expert in Uganda, and really we in that area we are not moving well. But I believe we are moving, and such interviews, such sharing is sending a message to them that, hey, why don't we come up? We partnered with the Minister of Health, and one of the things we are working, though on a slow pace, with the Uganda Aquatics, is to make sure that we come up with a proper training program, but it's just a slow pace, which needs speed up, maybe funding. We need funding to fund these particular areas, because Uganda, we are growing, pools are growing, so we also need to come up with regulations. And we set up, we are growing. So let's not lament, being that we have identified the issue, then let's work on the issue.
Okay. You said there are other risks besides drowning. There are other risks. You talked about the pools not being treated or maintained in good condition. What are other risks associated with swimming pools?
When you look at, a pool is made of the pool, the water we see, people swimming, and also the outer, also the design. You will find some pools, but it all goes on to regulation, because if there is no regulation and there is no standard, so people do not have where to go to know what should be what. Like, is the pool fenced? What are the tailing around? You find some places are a bit slippery, and also creating other injuries. Others you will find you can even go at any time. You wait when they cross, you jump, because the fence is somewhere here where you can jump. And then others, you see the water, the councils or they normally don't test the water, but we need
water needs to be tested. Tested for what?
To see the quality, the chlorine level and the pH. Is it on the right quality, for people to be in?
What can go wrong if the chlorine levels are high? What can go wrong?
Creates diseases. And if it's low, that means there are more bacteria. So we need to test the water level. But do the leaders, the councils, do they normally come and test this water quality? Yeah. But I said, we are, let's not lament, we are growing.
As we plan to conclude, what could be your recommendations, either at policy level or at individual level, like people who already have swimming pools in their homes?
I'm happy to share this. And I believe until when we have the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Education and Sports stepping up and say enough is enough for the country losing lives in water, we'll still have this. So as I conclude, I ask the relevant ministry, more so being a public health, Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Education and Sports, to step up and come and really help. And then to the people who are manning, the owners
of public places like hotels that have swimming pools.
Yes, also the workers, please take initiative to come for such a knowledge, get to know if you are going to build a pool, at least look, how should it look like? If it's a school pool, what do I need on a school pool? Hotel pools, what do I need on a hotel pool? At least try to get that. And also people who are manning the lifeguard, try to get this qualification, professionalism, try, and also let's get this skilled so that we know what we are doing. I don't blame you for being self-taught, but now time is now to go and get the relevant knowledge needed. And back to the users, because for them, they don't know. They will find somebody at the pool. They don't know the caliber, where the level, training level, but also swim under a lifeguard watch. Lifeguards are not babysitters. So make sure they are there on their tower watching you. If you go to a facility, you cannot identify a lifesaver, please don't risk your life. If we go to a school that are just asking money for swimming and they have not really shown where they are taking the children, you are unable to visit there, please don't risk your child. Make sure that at least you take some necessary precautions before joining such a sport.
Finally, from me, where do we source for this information? If I have a swimming pool or I plan to construct one, or where do I go to source for this knowledge or the expertise?
Yeah.
Do you do it at SwimSafe?
Yeah, SwimSafe Uganda and Uganda Aquatics. We partnered with other partners, NSI Water and other partners. We've partnered and come up with a campaign called National Water Safety and Anti-Drowning Campaign. So in this campaign, we are making sure that we are to train 5,000 swim teachers and pool attendants. So whoever needs this, please come to us. You may not wait for us to come to your region, but because we have set people, a team of people to help you out. Once you reach out to SwimSafe Uganda, Uganda Aquatics will be able to help you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kalanzi Moses, the Executive Director and Co-founder at SwimSafe Uganda. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, our viewers. That's it from the expert, and we've been interrogating the concerns around swimming pools turning into death traps. And from the expert, really, it is very risky. It calls for urgent intervention, both at policy level, but also at individual level. Our appreciation goes to SwimSafe Uganda, but also to NSI Uganda, who, of course, provided this information and the interview. My name is Prince Apollo. We'll catch up again next Friday in another edition of the Limelight. Let's hope you remain safe. You will take precaution before you jump into a swimming pool, and that will keep me and you safe until next weekend. Good evening. God bless you. God bless Uganda.